Hello, my name is Lachlan Parker and welcome to another Lighthouse eSafety module. Today we're going to be looking at Chapter 8, Computer Safety and How to Troubleshoot. So what we go over here today is more about how to be safe to computer. So things such as trusted antivirus protection programs, what can be downloaded safely and how do we look out for that. Web browsers are programs that can help you keep you safe, keeping your computer up to date, firewalls and parental control as well. And some common issues that we do face with computers. So first up, we're going to talk about the Trusted Computer Antivirus and Protection Programs. So I've got a few listed here. I personally use Bitdefender. I think it's a very good antivirus program and it's done very well for me over the years. It is a paid program. Most of these have a paid aspect, which you should use, but they do have a free trial version as well. So it's always good to have a look at which one you think is going to best suit you as a user. I think Bitdefender does what I want it to do, so that's what I use. As I said before, it's always good to make sure you look at services and devices, and it's best to check each one out, check reviews, do your own research. Computer health software, there's a few out there. I use one called System Mechanic. Again, just helps me keep my computer, I guess, clean and also to repair things that are internal, not easy to repair, but it does a good job and it gets rid of memory and junk files, which comes from when you browse the internet. Usually you get Windows junk files, all that sort of stuff. So it does a bit of a cleanup for me, which is great. Again, do your own research, find one that works for you, but System Mechanic is the one that works for me. When buying from sites, look out for obviously the verified trusted, as you can see at the top here. We got Norton Secure, McAfee Secure, all these things. Usually it's easy on the website. You can click on them and they'll take you to the page of the actual people providing the security. If it doesn't let you do that, then it's most likely just a copy and paste, which is pretty dodgy for putting your details of your card or your bank information into the website. So always be on the lookout for the secure sort of symbol and being able to actually click it and look into it. But PayPal here at the bottom is a lovely way to pay for things. I use PayPal all the time where I can. It's fantastic because it keeps your bank details secure, it keeps your card information secure, and it's like a middleman for paying for all your products. So I love PayPal. It's such a great thing to use to pay for things because I don't have to put my card details in and everything's dealt with by them. There's a lot of safety features in there as well. So we're going to look at web browsers and websites. Again, web browsers is one of those things that it depends on the individual that wants to use it. I used to use Google Chrome because I had a lot of apps on there that I would use for any discounts and ad blockers and all that sort of stuff. So again, this requires research into what exactly these different browsers offer and making sure that you are happy with what it offers as an individual and going from there. We also have a couple of websites here on the right, mainly for parents. Beacon, so it's an app for families online that helps with, keeping kids safe and controlling the computer, browsing, all that sort of stuff. And Think You Know, which gives you a bit more information about online safety, filters, or how to put safety features into place, all that sort of stuff for your online and computer usage. Keeping your computer up to date is very important. There may be something that's gone wrong on your device that's been an issue. Maybe it's prone to a hack because of it. Once Microsoft finds out, these sort of problems, they update it as soon as possible for fix, which is why it's always important to keep your computer up to date because it's the best way to protect your computer. So making sure you're always checking for any updates. You do need the internet for this, so do make sure that you always keep your computer up to date with the latest safety features. Also, firewalls and VPNs, do make sure that your firewalls are online as well. They should always be turned on. If it's not turned on, make sure you do turn it on because it stops any bad intentions or tries to stop any bad intentions from coming into your computer, your private network when you're on the internet. VPN's also useful if you're looking to hide your location. Not a necessity, but some people use them mainly for watching videos in other countries that it's not allowed. In your country, for example, Australia, if we got a movie that's not allowed here, someone might use VPN to change it to America where it is allowed and watch a movie using one of the streaming services. So things like that. So as we said here, firewalls protect you, so do make sure they're turned on. It's important to understand the benefits of this as well. They provide to your safety. So VPNs aren't a necessity, but people use them for different things. So it's up to you. So each individual need that you need to check out for that sort of stuff. So parental control, again, keeping your kids safe online is #1 priority. You have the family options, which is in the top left here, that is always free. So that's given on Windows. You do need the internet, but you can set that up quite easily, and you can look at setting screen time, keeping track of what they've been onto, all that sort of stuff. There are some paid ones out here. I've given you an example of 3 that you can use for parental controls with pretty good reviews. So again, it's about what you want, what you're looking at getting out of it, and doing that research yourself. So the world of the internet is a big place. It can be a lot to monitor, especially if your kids online. So again, as they're young and more prone to these sort of things, it's always a good idea to have some sort of tracking software on there that can tell you what the kids have been onto and stop them from going to unwanted websites or clicking unwanted links by accident. So now we're going to go through some of the common troubleshooting problems and how to fix that yourselves. We've got a list here. We'll go through this right now. So again, troubleshooting is solving a problem, going through each step until you find the result. So general tips are to write down the steps, write down each step you take, what you've tried, what worked, what didn't work. Take notes about an error message. If the error message comes up says error 405, then you can write that down. If you Google it, most of the time people have had the same issues and will have solutions as well. Always check the cables and the hardware. And sometimes when things are frozen, before all else fails, restarting a computer is usually the best option. 99% of the time, restarting a computer seems to fix the problem on a computer. So the process of elimination is very important here. So when there are problems, people might have multiple solutions. So it's always very important to make sure that you go through and see which solution worked. It's always a good idea to highlight the one that worked, because if you have the same issue again, it might be the same fix to the problem. Again, most of the time, the simple solutions are the best solutions, such as turning it off, closing and reopening it, all that sort of stuff. Try the simple solutions before you try the complex solutions. So we're going to face our first problem. The power button will not start the computer. So if you're pressing the power button and it's still not turning on, obviously we need to start by checking the power cord. Make sure it's in a working outlet. You can always do this by putting in another device that can be plugged in and checking it, such as a charger or a lamp. If the computer's plugged into a surge protector, make sure that the surge protector is on. It may have been tripped, so it's always good to check that sort of stuff. Using a laptop, make sure you check the battery and the battery of the laptop, but also the charging cable with the battery pack to it. So make sure you check all those sort of things. If your application is running slow, try closing and reopening it. Check if there's an update. If there's not, look for any sort of software issues. Do a Google search. Most of the time it will tell you if there's a problem with the application at the time. Again, if it's frozen, you can use Control-Alt-Delete and end task. You could also restart your computer. Most of the time these are the common issues, fixes the common issues, but if it continues to happen over and over again, it may be a software problem, so it's always good to reinstall or to Google search, see if there is a common issue that everyone's having with this. If all your programs are running slowly, you may need to run a virus scanner. You may have some malware running in the background or something that's causing this to slow down. You may be running out of hard drive space as well, so it's good to check how much space you have in your computer. If you do have limited space, try deleting files and programs that you don't need to make room for more space that your computer can run much better with. Again, if your computer's frozen, unresponsive, you can't even move the mouse, everything's gone, you can try to restart Control-Alt-Delete, but again, if it's completely frozen, mouse and everything, it's probably not going to work. So it's going to be a restart. And if it keeps happening, it's probably a software issue as well, which means you probably need your computer checked. If you're comfortable with it, checking it yourself. Otherwise, getting checked by a professional. You can also hold the power button down for a couple of seconds or unplug the power cable from the electrical outlet. We're always working. This is a last resort. I wouldn't pull the power cable out of your computer or try everything else first before that point. We have the mouse and keyboard start working. If it's a wired one, make sure it's correctly plugged in. Make sure your USB ports are working. It could also just be the wired mouse has stopped working itself. It's always good to check with another mouse. And if you're using wireless, always check the batteries, make sure it's charged, all that sort of stuff. Now, if we have the sound not working, we need to check the audio button, which is usually located at the bottom right of your screen. If you right click onto it and you click the options, you can check all the options for that. Make sure the controls, make sure you've got the right headset on or the right speakers selected. Check the cables, make sure it's all plugged in properly. If your speakers aren't working, connect your headphones and vice versa. Connect speakers, see if it's working. When you do that, it could be an issue with the actual speakers or the headphones itself. If your screen is blank, it may be in sleep mode. Make sure you check that first. Make sure the monitor's plugged in, make sure the cables are done properly. If you're using a desktop, or laptop, the laptop can have an issue with the actual screen itself, so that's a bit more of an issue. You can probably take that to IT professional, but with desktop, you can always switch out the screens or test another screen as well. Now, when we talk about solving the more difficult problems, as we said before, it's always good to do a Google search. If you search the web, as I said, if you have an issue and you put the issue into Google, 99% of the time, someone's had the same issue as you, and there's possible solutions that they tried. So it's always good to check that out. If you're not very comfortable with yourself, find someone that is more comfortable. Worst case scenario, you take it to an IT professional and pay a little bit for them to fix it. And it's a guaranteed fix. And they obviously have those policies in place to make sure your computer is fixed. Again, more difficult problems and more drastic solutions, unless you're comfortable doing it yourself, I would always take it to an IT professional. But if you're someone who's pretty handy with that sort of stuff, by all means, you can take the risk. But again, that is up to you and how you feel about the product. So this has been chapter 8 on computer safety, and I hope you've learned something today. If you have any questions, please do reach out to us. Otherwise, I hope you have a wonderful day. Thank you very much.